Here is a quick guide on how you can unlock the fire and ice element. First, you'll need to make your way to the Spire of Ringing Truth in the Palin region, north of Hurland. Keep in mind that this area is very cold, so you'll need at least 5 ice resistance. You can either get the Reindeer Cloak if you already completed chapter 4, or this cloak if you haven't. Link in description for how to get either of them. Now, once you got the weather settled, head to the spire and then up the stairs inside until you reach a room with scaffolding. You'll want to use axiom force to pull yourself up, then you can hold down axiom force again while in the air to slow down time while you aim. This way you can chain the grapple ability multiple times in a row for a very quick climb. Once on top, you will see this bell. Aim your axiom force at the wooden beam holding the bell and grab it. This will cause the beam to break and the bell to fall down and cause a hole into the spire. Carefully jump down the hole until you reach the basement of the spire. Here, a boss will attack you. Now, this boss has a predictable attack pattern. While he's floating, he'll either dash in for a close range attack, in which case you have to roll and dodge out of the way, or he'll charge up some projectiles and attack. Then he'll fly and reposition to a different spot, and he'll repeat the same action like before. He'll either dash for a close range attack or charge up a projectile hit. The goal here is to use Nature's Snare to block his attacks and then use Nature Retribution to reflect his projectiles into him. Nature Retribution is unlocked by leveling up Nature's Snare. Also, you'll want to watch out for this attack where he makes 3 projectiles fall down in a straight row, because right after he'll fly forward a bit and summon 3 more projectiles, so keep on holding Nature's Snare to block the second wave of projectiles as well. Blocking and reflecting his projectiles enough times will fill up the yellow bar, which will cause him to fall to the ground for a few seconds, which will allow you to damage him plenty. I did not refine my sword at all, and I am still using the starting sword, which is why my damage is so low. But if you refine your sword a bit, I'm sure you'll deplete his HP a lot faster. Once the boss dies, you'll obtain a consumable item called Blessing of the Immortal, which makes you invincible for 10 seconds. Save it for when you'll need it because it is consumed once used. Once you defeat the boss, you'll want to approach the Abyss Gate and enter it, which will lead you to the first Sky Island in the chain. You'll want to use these fans to glide. While you're gliding on top of the fans, you will ascend and your stamina will replenish. You have to fly to the highest fan and then glide inside the gate, which is inside the big room in the center of this location. When you're inside here, you'll want to look up on top of the cage to find the shiny orange circle. You can use axiom force on it to control the cage. Spin the cage until you see the opening. Now inside, glide up and into this next room, then approach the big slab of stone with a hole in it and use Nature's Grasp to lift it up. Then step back and use axiom force into the hole, which exposes another shiny orange circle, and now spin the whole room until you see another entrance which you can crawl into. Beyond the small opening, there'll be a bunch of fans, and also an abyss power cell. Grab it with axiom force and either pull it up slowly or simply store it in your cuckoo pot if you have unlocked it in chapter 3 of the main quest. Then once you bring it in the room above, place it on the pedestal to turn on the big fan. Now all you have left to do is glide and get pushed by the big fan towards the big button. Press the button and now you can claim the Abyss artifact and move on to the next Sky Island past the Sky Bridge. First, you'll want to head to the entrance with a yellow gem and grab this box emitting a laser. Now you'll want to position it so that the laser is hitting the gem. You might need to try a few times as the box tends to be placed down at an angle instead of pointing straight where you're looking. Once the laser activates the gem, the entrance will open. You can go inside, then on the left you'll want to stand on top of this platform, which will open an entrance underground. Once you go down in the room underground, you'll want to grab this battery and position it in this socket and then use force palm to set it in. Now you'll want to grab the box shooting a laser from this side and move it to the other gemstone. This will open the door to the right. You can either glide inside or use the platform for a safer option. Once inside, take the box and aim it at the gemstone on the right. Now use blinding flash to focus light on the gemstone on the left, then quickly head inside the room. Once inside the small room, use blinding flash on the gemstone to unlock the next door. You'll want to grab this battery and rotate it so that you can fit it into the hole here. Once the battery is past the hole, crouch and head on inside. Here, all you need to do is grab the battery and use force palm to push it into the socket. This will activate the teleporter, and stepping into it will take you to the button, which is now yellow and can be pressed to activate the Abyss Nexus and the Sky Bridge. Once you claim the Abyss artifact, if you go past the Sky Bridge, you will need to carefully glide long distances using the fans until you reach another teleporter that will take you to the next Sky Island. The first thing you'll notice is that the weather is very cold. Not even 5 ice resistance can help. The only way to resist the constant cold damage is either by having 15 ice resistance or by standing near the lanterns which are scattered around. As soon as you leave the lantern, you'll take damage, so make sure to bring some food with you as it is necessary to complete this location. You'll want to follow the lanterns as they are positioned fairly close to each other, and the goal here is to follow them until you reach this spot just slightly above on the Sky Island. Here there's an Abyss power cell and a socket for it, however the power cell is frozen and cannot be pushed in. I did not have any arrows on me, but I believe you can light up an arrow on fire using the lantern nearby and shoot it at the power cell to melt the ice and then socket it. If you don't have arrows or can't get this method to work, you'll have to climb down and just slightly northwest of this power cell, while standing near the lantern, grab the battery in the socket with axiom force and pull it out using the pull key shown in the lower right corner of the screen. This will open up the entrance to a room inside, just besides the place with the power cell. Grab the power cell and pull it into the room, to the lava pit. Now you have to dunk the power cell in the lava until the ice melts. You'll notice the color change to dark and blue. That means the ice is melted and you can take it back outside and push it into the socket. Now you'll want to climb up and press the button, which will activate the Abyss Nexus. Collecting the Abyss artifact will unlock the ice element, then you can carry on past the Sky Bridge to reach the next chain of Sky Islands, which will eventually reward you with the fire element. The Sanctorum of Darkness. The first thing you'll want to do is head above where there's these 2 round machines and use axiom force on the back of the one on the right, and then move it so that the light is shining on the gem. Then you can either use blinding flash on the gem on the left, or if you want to solve it the fair way, head on below to this door, climb it, then hold the key to resist in the lower right corner so you won't fly away when you use palm force. Once inside, grab this Abyss cell and move your mouse in one direction for a couple of seconds and it will come out. Then use axiom force to pull yourself out of this room, and then grab the Abyss cell and move it to the left side of the Sky Island where this socket is, and just push it into the socket. This will activate the round machine on the left, and you can then move it so that the light shines on the gem to activate the big button. Then you can glide on to the other side, press the button, and then this will activate the Abyss Nexus where you can take the artifact. Then head on to the Sky Bridge and simply glide over to the portal that leads to the next Sky Island. The first thing you'll have to do is go on the first ring. There's a power cell right above a socket. Simply push it into the ring and the ring will begin to spin. The goal here is to make all 3 rings spin. On the other side of the first ring there is another power cell. Grab it and slowly push it towards the room in the middle of the second ring. Here you'll want to push the power cell into the socket, which will open the inner chamber, where there's another power cell. Grab the power cell from inside and then push it closer to the second ring. Once it's close enough, enough, hop onto the ring and then grab the power cell and push it into the socket on the second ring. This will make the second ring spin. Then go back to the room in the center and grab the power cell in the socket. You'll want to move your mouse in one direction for a couple of seconds and then the power cell will come out. If you wiggle the mouse left and right, it will not come out. You have to keep pushing in one same direction for a few seconds. Once you got the power cell, carry it slowly towards the third and last ring. Here you'll find another socket. Simply push it in and this will activate the big button. Push the button and activate the Abyss Nexus, then take the Abyss artifact. And then once you activate the sky bridge, glide over to this side on this platform, and from here you can either do shorter glides, but I found that one big long glide was sufficient if you have maxed out your stamina. Once you get to the other side, enter the portal and go to the next sky island. Here you have to get all the 5 pillars to the same level by stabbing and rotating the mechanism in the middle. You'll want to start directly behind the shortest pillar, then stab the hole left of the short pillar. You'll want to spin the mechanism left until the pillar on the screen is 1.5 units tall. Now you'll want to stab the hole right of the hole you just stabbed. Then rotate the mechanism until this pillar is inserted all the way into the ground. And now you have 2 pillars which are completely inserted into the ground. You'll want to stab the hole that's 2 spaces to the right of the last hole you stabbed, so skip one hole and stab the other. If you're unsure which hole that is, simply stab each of them without rotating and you'll know you got the right hole when it's only the 2 pillars which are completely inserted that are glowing. Now spin the mechanism to the right until the 2 pillars are 1 unit above, and this will complete the puzzle and you'll then be able to push the button to activate the Abyss Nexus. Collecting the artifact from the Abyss Nexus will unlock the fire element. Thanks for watching, and if this video helped you, leave a like or subscribe for more.